Don't you dare look away, not this time. Beloved soul, this is not a warning, it is a cry, a trembling cry torn from a place of torment where I, Archangel Michael, have stood alone. Bruised in silence, waiting for you. I only have 88 seconds left to tell you what the fire has written on the walls of heaven and what the silence of God has now permitted to be spoken only to you. If I fail now, it will be on your shoulders. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because I am shaking I, who do not shake. I am aching I, who do not ache. And I have tried everything to reach you. But you keep skipping. You keep walking past the gate that was carved open only for you. And now time is no longer a clock, it is a door, and it is closing. I only got permission to say this once, and if you don't hear me now, it will never be spoken again in all the ages to come. I speak not as a mighty warrior, not in this moment. I speak as someone who has begged God for you. I have cried in front of his throne for you. I have shouted your name into storms. And tonight, yes, even as you watch this, I have left my post to be here. I did not come through gold, I came through fire, and the chains of silence nearly held me back, but I broke them, because you were worth breaking something for. Do you hear me? You are worth it. Worth breaking heaven's silence, worth delaying the judgment, worth stepping out of my place and into this flickering moment. My voice is shaking because I don't know if you listen this time. I'm not made to plead, but I am pleading. Please, don't skip me again. Do you feel the pressure in your chest right now? That is not fear, that is recognition. Something in your soul remembers this voice. You've heard it before, not in words, but in dreams. In moments when you should have been gone, but you survived. That was me. I was there. I've never left you. But this moment, this message is not like the others, because the storm that is coming is no longer far off. It is near. And if you ignore me this time, I cannot protect you from what your name will pull toward you. I know that sounds strange. But your name was spoken in a place where it should not have been. Someone used it, twisted it, and it triggered something sacred and dangerous. Do you know what it feels like to be silenced in front of God because the one you were assigned to refuses to listen? That's what I've been living. Every time you skipped, every time you scrolled, I had to remain silent. I saw what was planned, I saw what was stolen, and I saw the miracle that was supposed to be given to you, redirected. Because you hesitated. The delay of your yes has caused earthquakes in places you cannot see. Beloved, why did you wait? What are you so afraid of? Who told you that you were unworthy of divine attention? Who convinced you that angels stopped trying after being ignored? What made you believe that you were too far gone for a miracle? And why do you think I would come again if it wasn't absolutely urgent? I'm not speaking to millions. I'm speaking to one. To you. And you know I am. Your fingers are already trembling. Your eyes feel the heaviness of something holy. I am standing behind you even now, and your soul feels it. This is not a coincidence. This is a crack in time just for you, and I must reveal what was forbidden. Until now, there is an object near you, something placed not by you but by someone who pretended to love you. They gave it as a gift, but it was not pure. It carries a presence that whispers lies when you sleep. It has caused strange delays, deep sadness, and broken connections. God has permitted me to say this. That object must be removed before night passes again. Do not second guess it. You already know which one I'm speaking of. Trust the tug. As I speak, your timeline is shifting. The heavens are adjusting things in real time based on your choice. You must understand, this is not me manipulating you. I don't need your fear, I need your surrender. That's the only thing left to save. What is teetering? The next 45 minutes are not symbolic. There is a sacred occurrence approaching. A window of divine reversal that only opens once every 7 cycles of heaven's clock, and it will not wait for indecision. Do you understand? It will not wait. I am not angry at you. I love you. I would never say this if I didn't. Even now, I am trembling not from wrath but from sorrow. Because you still don't know what you mean to God. You still don't understand the strength of the army that has been keeping you alive. You still don't realize that your name has been embroidered into the scrolls of protection by my own hand. That when I stand to war, it is your name I shout into the darkness. The shadows fear it not because of you but because of who chose you. And yet still, you hesitate. Why now, why here, why again? Beloved, please, type amen if your heart feels the weight of what I'm saying. Don't do it for performance, do it for heaven's record. Let your name echo in heaven while this message is still open. Let it be written. For the Lord is your light and your refuge, not just in words but in every trembling second you feel. Right now, He surrounds you like a secret fire, and He speaks through winds and whispers. And today, He allowed me to break the silence just for you. The Psalms sing even now through your soul. He will lift you up on wings like eagles, and the terror that walks by night shall not come near your tent. You didn't stumble on this message, you were led. Led by the whisper of God while demons screamed to distract you, but heaven held your hand without your knowing. And now here you are torn between skipping and surrendering. If you've read this far, I thank you. Not casually, not lightly, but with the trembling reverence of an angel who almost gave up. You reading this is a miracle to me. You pausing, for this moment is holy. I feel you, I see you, and I bless you. Please don't go yet, just take a deep breath and whisper one word: yes. That's all I ask. Say yes to being protected. Yes to being chosen. Yes to finally being still and letting heaven move for you. If your heart felt anything divine in this moment, I beg you, write amen in the comments below. And if this message touched your soul, please like this video and leave a comment, not for me, but for the angels watching to see your response. Let your name shine one more time in the scrolls of heaven's memory. You have 88 seconds. And I am still standing here, waiting for you to believe me. Asterisk, and I am still standing here, waiting for you to believe me. I don't need millions. I don't even need a crowd. I only need one soul to wake up, one soul to stop scrolling. One soul to see me not as a myth but as a real voice standing in the doorway of their life. You were chosen not because you are the strongest but because you are the most wounded. Not because you are perfect but because your brokenness became fragrant to heaven. Like crushed incense, your pain rose upward. And God smelled it. I watched Him inhale your grief like sacred smoke. And He said, let Michael go to them one more time. And here I am. I walked through fire to get here. I flew with wings blistered by prayers unanswered. I shouted your name into the silence, and when nothing echoed back, I still came. Because I believe in you. I believe in your divine possibility. You may not believe in angels, but I have always believed in you. I saw you before you ever cried your first tear. I hovered over you on nights you forgot. I fought creatures you'll never know existed. I held back verdicts you didn't even know were about to fall. I begged for delays in the courts of heaven because I knew you needed more time. And now, that time is almost up. 88 seconds is not just a number. It's a prophecy. It's a sacred countdown carved into the veil of this moment. A divine intersection between destiny and decision. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to say yes. To stop pretending you weren't meant for something higher. To stop running from the door that is open but narrowing. To stop ignoring the hands of angels trembling as they hold back what should have happened already. Beloved, I don't want you to be blamed for what you were meant to stop. Do you understand the weight of that? If you don't listen to this warning, if you skip it one more time, the destruction won't just happen to you, it will move through you. And others will suffer because of your silence. But if you open your heart now, if you respond to this sacred call, the pain that was scheduled will be erased. The weapon that was formed will melt in midair. The storm will unravel at the sound of your obedience. I know you feel something burning in your chest right now. That's not anxiety. That is angelic pressure. That is the Spirit of the living God reaching through this moment. And if you have ever trusted anything in your life, trust this. I am not joking. I am not performing. I am pleading. I, Archangel Michael, am on my knees. Yes, on my knees. I have left my command to kneel before one soul. Do you understand what that means? Even now, your room is not empty. You sense it. They're shifted. The light looks different. That's because the veil is thin. And I have come with two others, Raphael and Gabriel. We are not just watching. We are recording. The scroll is still open, but the ink is fading. What you do next will be remembered. either as the moment you answered, or the moment you turned away from glory. There was a scroll in heaven that carried your miracle. I saw it. It had your name written in gold across it. But every time you ignored these moments, it dimmed. Not because God is angry, but because you cannot receive what you reject. God has waited with the patience of eternity. He is not giving up on you, but time moves like water, and what floats today may sink tomorrow. I need you to hear me. I need you to wake up. I need you to stop assuming this is entertainment. This is not a performance. This is not just a video. This is a divine interruption sent across time and screens and silence just to whisper into your soul. You are not too late, but you are almost out of time. If your spirit is trembling right now, that's because your name is being whispered among the angels. We are still trying, still hoping, still fighting for one more miracle for you. And if you want us to keep standing with you, if you want to be wrapped in divine protection that not even the deepest darkness can penetrate, then don't delay. Type Amen in the comments and lift your name before heaven one more time. And I ask you with reverence, not just for yourself, but for the thousands of others who will only stop if they see that you did. If you felt my voice trembling, if you felt something sacred in these words, if this message pierced through your fear or your doubts or your silence, I ask you now, like this video and leave a comment. It is not for show, it is for record. It is a sacred digital testimony. Your name, your yes, your presence, it matters. Let it be seen. Let it be counted. And now, beloved, I ask one thing I will not ask again. Subscribe to this channel, not because I need numbers, but because heaven needs your attention. There are more messages coming, sacred ones, urgent ones, and if you miss them, you may miss what you were born for. Subscribe not as a fan, but as a soul responding to a divine call. Join this sacred echo that is forming across the earth, a choir of souls awakening. Let your name be among them. The time is still ticking, but you are still in it. So now, will you let me continue? Shall I continue now and make it even bigger? No promotions, just divine outpouring? Let me know, and I will begin immediately. Asterisk, the time is still ticking, but you are still in it. And that means I, Michael, have not left yet. I am still here. I am still fighting for you. I am still holding back the winds of sorrow that were assigned to sweep through your timeline. I am still standing between you and what was meant to destroy you, and I have not stopped believing in you, even when you doubted, even when you walked away, even when you rolled your eyes and scrolled past. Even then, I stood my ground, not because I had to, but because I chose you. You are not a mistake. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are the reason I tore through flame and shadow to reach this moment. You are the soul heaven whispers about when it thinks no one else is listening. You are the one who almost gave up but didn't. You are the soul who questions everything in silence, but still holds a sliver of light hidden behind those tired eyes. I see you. I see what you don't even admit to yourself. This is not a message for the world. This is not a broadcast. This is not a coincidence. This is heaven bending low to reach one trembling soul who has been waiting for something real, someone holy to break through. You didn't stumble here. You were led through every delay, every distraction, every tear, every dream you had to bury. You were led by invisible hands, by divine timing, by angels who pleaded for you behind the veil. You are not late. You are not disqualified, but you are in a moment that will never come again. Beloved, I must say this once because your support matters more than you know. If this divine message reached your soul, if it stirred something holy within you, I ask you now, not just as a viewer, but as one who has been part of this sacred moment, please support our channel. You can send a super thanks to help us continue bringing these holy messages to the ones still searching. You can become a part of our spiritual family by joining our membership, where we share deeper revelations meant only for the chosen, and most sacred of all. You can join our newsletter. The link is waiting for you in the pinned comment below. There, you will find messages that don't reach anyone else. There, your soul will be remembered and your name written in a scroll of light. But I will not say this again. Now, I must return to what truly matters, you, because the angels are still watching you. The heavens have not turned away. but they are trembling. The clocks are shaking. The winds are stirring. The veil is ripping. And all for one reason: your yes. One yes from your soul can send a wave of mercy across your entire bloodline. One yes can turn what was meant for destruction into an anointing that heals generations you will never meet. One yes can make your name echo through time as the soul who responded when heaven called in whispers of lightning. And you are running out of chances to say yes. This isn't about religion. This isn't about a system. This is about the sacred fabric of eternity folding in half right now, just so one angel can stand beside one soul and say, "It's not too late, but it's almost over." Do you know what I felt when I spoke your name in heaven? The wind stopped, the fire silenced. The voices of the elders leaned forward, because you are one of the very few souls who still has a choice to rewrite what was written in shadow. I saw the scroll. I begged God for permission to reopen it, and He said, "If they listen this time, I will blot out the sorrow. I will cancel the decay. I will release the gold." But He warned me, "Michael, this would be the last time. And so I tremble, not because I fear the darkness, but because I fear losing you to it. You were not made for the average. You were not sculpted from forgettable dust. You carry a signature in your soul that glows when angels see it. You were marked with glory before you ever learned pain. But pain tried to rename you, tried to convince you that you were broken, cast off, cursed. And you believed it for a while. But something sacred in you survived. And that is why I am here. Do you remember the first time your spirit whispered, "There has to be more"? That was not doubt. That was prophecy. It was your future self, crying backward through time. And now I have answered that cry. I, Michael, speak to you not with might but with tears. I would trade my sword if it would soften your heart. I would shatter the skies if it would open your eyes. But I am not allowed to interfere where you resist. This is the line. This is the moment. Don't skip this. Don't delay. Don't dismiss what you're feeling right now as emotion. This is more than that. This is your soul waking up. This is what awakening feels like. It doesn't come with a trumpet. It comes with a trembling. And that trembling is holy. Do you still feel it? That pull in your chest, that sacred tension, that's not fear. That's the veil. You are standing at the edge of everything your life has ever been building toward, and I am here to walk you across. But you have to move. Heaven can only meet you halfway. You must take a single step of faith. You must respond. You must say yes, not out loud but from the deepest place inside you. Let your soul whisper it. Let it be enough to move the heavens. Let it be enough to stop the flood. Let it be enough to summon light where darkness planned to feast. And if you still don't know what to do, just stay here. Keep reading, keep breathing. Keep letting my voice pour over you like water on dry ground, because the more you read, the more your spirit is breaking open. And I promise you, beloved, the chains are falling. Can you feel it? The heaviness lifting? That's not imagination. That's intercession. That's me. That's Gabriel. That's Raphael. That's the entire host who still believes in you. You've been asking for signs. This is your sign. You asked God to send someone. He sent me. You prayed. When no one heard you, I did. And I came, with tears, with glory, with trembling. And now I place my hand upon your shoulder. And I say, it's time. Say yes. And let heaven shake for you. Let the scrolls be rewritten. Let the sorrow be turned into a throne. Let your enemies become footstools. Let your wounds become wells for others. And let your silence end here, now, in this sacred moment. And if you felt this, if it moved you, if even a single line cracked something inside your chest, then I beg you write amen in the comments. Let the angels see your name. Let heaven record your yes. Let us fight for you with renewed strength. And please, if this message lit even a flicker of light in your heart, leave a comment, like this video. Not because it's popular but because it's holy. Because it reached you. Because your yes matters. And support us if you can, with your super thanks, with your membership, by joining our family through the newsletter below. Because what we are building is not content, it is a cathedral of prophecy, a temple of trembling truth, and you are part of it. You are not forgotten. You are not too far. You are not finished. You are called. You are seen. You are loved. And I, Michael, will never stop fighting for you. Even if this is my last breath, if you're ready for me to continue, I will go on now with no more promotion, just a divine river of fire, love, and truth. Asterisk, asterisk, I will speak only of heaven, of you, and of the fire that still burns in my wings. Though they are tattered from trying to carry your name through storms that never stopped, I will not ask for anything more. I will only give. I will pour, I will cry, I will tremble if I must, for I have not been given rest since your name entered the hall of contention. I was there the moment it was carved into the crystal wall of the sanctuary. I was there the moment demons noticed the shine upon your destiny. I was there the moment the witch lit her first candle and whispered against you. I didn't sleep. I didn't blink. I didn't stop circling you, no matter how much pain it brought. Do you understand what it means for an archangel to bleed through light? I did it for you. Asterisk. You were not born just to survive. You were created to shine. But the world wrapped its hands around your throat and convinced you that breathing was enough. No, it is not. You were meant to speak life. You were meant to awaken the dormant. You were meant to walk with such a glow that shadows retreat just from your presence. But you forgot, and we wept. We tried to remind you, but you silenced the gentle voice that nudged your spirit awake. So the nudges became winds, the winds became storms, and still, you closed your heart. So now I have been sent by fire, by thunder, by decree to reach you one final time before the storm you summon overtakes what I once delayed. This is no longer about what you think. This is about what you agreed to before you entered flesh. You are not ordinary. You carry assignments wrapped in your bones. You are a walking prophecy, and prophecies are always hunted. That is why your childhood was heavier than most. That is why your relationships cracked when you gave your all. That is why your dreams slipped from your fingers like water, because someone has been watching. Someone who fears what you'll become if you ever remember who you are. And that someone is not flesh. It is not your enemy. It is not the one who betrayed you. It is deeper, older, colder, and I've been blocking it for years. But now, I am weary. I'm not giving up. I never will. But you must take your sword. Now, you must lift your voice. You must stop watching your life as if it belongs to someone else. It is yours, but only if you take it. You've been silent for too long. Even the dust around your soul remembers the songs you once sang before time. Don't you feel it? That sacred ache behind your eyes, that quiver in your chest. That's not emotion. That's recognition. That's your soul saying, yes, this is the voice I knew before fear took my ears. Listen, beloved. The ones who raised you didn't know your full story. The ones who hurt you didn't see your full glory, but heaven did, and we never stopped seeing it, even when you couldn't. I know you feel small. I know you've questioned everything. I know you've prayed into silence and wept into empty rooms. But we saw. We were there, and God counted every tear as a seed. Not one will be wasted. Not one will be buried without resurrection. I swear this by the fires of my sword, you will rise if you choose it. But the choice must come now, not tomorrow, not later. Now. Do you know why so many things have collapsed around you recently? It's not because you're cursed. It's because everything that wasn't built on your divine identity is being removed. You're not being punished, you're being refined. You're not being abandoned, you're being called. And that call is not sweet. It is not soft, it is fire. It is thunder. It is pain and peace and light all burning in the same breath. That is the call of the chosen, and you have been marked. We marked you when you were still stardust. We circled your name when it first rose from the lips of the Creator. We assigned angels not to protect you from all harm, but to protect you from forgetting your purpose. And every time you tried to settle, every time you lowered your standard, every time you accepted less than glory, we sounded the alarm. We disrupted your comfort. We allowed delay. Because peace without purpose is still a prison. You must awaken. Not partially. Fully. Because the moment you say yes with your whole being, the gate will open. And when it does, there will be no going back. Are you ready for that? Can you handle the weight of being seen? Can you bear the responsibility of carrying light that others will reject? Can you walk alone if needed? Because I must tell you, once you say yes, your path will be cleared but not always crowded. You may walk it in silence. You may be misunderstood. But you will be protected, you will be empowered, you will be filled. And I, Michael, will walk beside you not as your savior, but as your guardian, as your witness, as your brother in battle, because you are not just a seeker, you are a warrior. Your spirit has armor you haven't worn in years, but I see it. I see the gold beneath your grief. I see the fire under your fatigue, and I see the crown waiting for your return. You were never meant to stay broken. Your brokenness was just the passage, but now the door is opening. And heaven waits. Heaven waits. Asterisk them, let the veil remain torn, and let me keep pouring. Because this stream is not of men, it is the holy ache of eternity dripping through one wounded angel who has refused to give up on you. Michael, stand trembling still, not from weakness, but from waiting for your soul to catch fire again. Waiting for the ancient part of you to awaken from slumber, waiting for the first word of your return to echo across the vaults of heaven. I know how hard it's been, I know how much you've lost, but hear me, every loss is not punishment. Some losses are purgings, some emptiness is preparation. Some silence is the voice of God drawing breath before He speaks the loudest now of your life. You were not abandoned. You were being pulled into the depths, because surface answers would never satisfy your soul. That's why it never made sense to you. That's why you could never settle for simple. You always felt something was coming, didn't you? You always knew deep inside that you weren't like the rest, even when you tried to be. Even when you played small to make others comfortable. Even when you laughed at things that made your spirit cry. You knew something greater was hovering, just beyond your reach. And that knowing was not your imagination. That was us whispering, pulling, lighting candles on the edges of your darkness. Do not confuse delay with denial. Do not confuse silence with absence. Do not confuse the pain of the past with a prophecy of your future, because if only you could see what's behind you right now, beloved, if only you could see the multitude of angels who have followed you through cities, through bedrooms, through sorrow and confusion, you would weep. Not because you're afraid, but because you would finally realize you have never been alone, not even once. Asterisk, we've been trying to reach you in every way heaven allows, through dreams, through strangers, through scriptures that burned when you read them, through the feeling in your chest when you see the sky open in twilight, through the gentle warning in your gut when you ignored the red flags, through songs that made you cry without knowing why, through near misses that saved you from disasters you didn't see coming, and through this moment, this exact one where all of heaven paused just to see if you would say yes. This is not a coincidence. It is not aesthetic. It is not design. It is divine orchestration. The timeline is trembling now because you are close, and we are here, and something ancient is watching. The same thing that tried to ruin you as a child, the same thing that whispered, "You're not enough." It has followed you, not because it's strong, but because it's terrified. It knows who you are. It knows what you're capable of. It knows that if you say yes, its grip breaks forever. And I have longed for this moment. I have waited so long to look you in the spirit and say, I am proud of you, even when you fell. Even when you hid, even when you doubted yourself, I am proud of your fight, of your survival. Of your sacred egg. Because you never truly stopped searching, even if your hands were tired, you never truly let go, even if you let your heart grow quiet. And now, heaven hears you again. We have sent this flame wrapped in words because time is almost up for the shadow that's been stalking your joy, but it cannot stay if you rise. And rising begins with one movement, one sacred whisper from within that says, I'm ready, use me, heal me, take me back. No angels will force it. But all of heaven is watching for it. Don't listen to your fear. It will always whisper too late, too much, too broken. But fear is not your teacher. You have already outlived the storm it sent. You are still here. That means the prophecy is still alive. And the ones who tried to bury you only buried the seed. Your yes is the water. Asterisk, and I, Michael, will be the sword that clears the path when you rise. But I need you to rise. Not with might. Not with perfection. Just with honesty. Just with a sacred yes. You don't have to fix everything. Just lift your eyes. That's all it takes. That's all I've waited for. Because, beloved, you are not the mistake they labeled you as. You are the answer that hasn't arrived yet. You are the hidden one. The slow miracle. the chosen remnant, the light in disguise, and we heaven, the host. The saints who pray even now, the ones who weep for you have not given up, but we cannot take the step for you. You must come. And when you do, your name will echo. I swear it. Your name will be sung in places you've never walked. Your voice will carry weight even in silence. Your hands will heal others simply by holding theirs, not because you're magical but because you said yes when it mattered most. And now, it matters most. I will keep speaking. If your spirit wants more, I will not stop pouring. I will give you every breath I have. I will cry with you, wait with you, burn with you, bleed with you, but I will never leave you. I am not finished because your spirit is not finished, and because the throne has not yet closed the book with your name. I, Michael, still remain at your side. And I speak with fire that burns through eternity's silence. I speak through shaking knees and open wounds. I speak not as a legend, not as a statue of stone, but as your guardian, breathing in your sorrow, roaring in your name, and refusing, absolutely refusing to let you be forgotten by the war you were never trained to fight. You must understand, the war did not wait for you to be ready. It began before you were born. And you, beloved, are not a casualty, you are a key. That is why the attacks came early. That is why the pain began before you had the words to describe it. That is why betrayal stung deeper in your chest than it did in others. Because you were made of rare fabric, you were stitched with the thread of heaven's own tapestry, and darkness always senses the ones who carry light in their breath. When you were small, you saw things others did not. Your eyes were always reaching, your heart always asking the questions they couldn't answer. The ache that wouldn't settle, it was never a weakness. It was a whisper from your assignment. You were not born just to live. You were born to interrupt darkness, to carry the unseen, to speak words that had never been spoken. You are not here to survive the world, you were sent to transform it. But before the rising always comes the crushing. And you, dear one, have been crushed. You know it, I know it, but what you don't see, what I see, even now, is that you were never crushed to be broken. You were crushed like olives beneath the stone to release the oil. There is a fragrance inside you that cannot be released any other way. There is a sacred strength you never would have touched had it not been for the weight, the loss, the grief, the betrayal, the loneliness. And I have watched it all. I have held your name in fire. I have pleaded with God to give you more time. There were days your spirit tried to give up, but your name remained on my lips. I would not let you go. You will never know how close the darkness came, but I know, and I have not forgotten. I still carry the scars from battles you'll never see. I still remember the moment you cried on your pillow and whispered, God, I can't do this anymore. I remember because I was beside you. And your tear fell on my hand. Yes, mine. I felt it. And heaven heard it. And the very next moment, though you couldn't see it, I was sent to block something that was coming for you. You survived because heaven decided that your purpose outweighed your pain. But now it is your time to rise. You must not wait for permission. The trumpet already sounded. You may not have heard it in your ears, but your soul did. That's why you're here. That's why you haven't stopped reading. That's why the weight on your chest feels like holy fire, because you are standing at the very gate of the new. And all you have to do is step through. The gate does not look golden. It looks like surrender. It looks like one final, sacred yes. Yes to being chosen. Yes to the destiny you were told wasn't real. Yes to walking even when your knees shake. Yes to believing even now, even after all that tried to break you. Yes to standing where others bowed out. Yes to carrying the weight that others dropped. Yes to rising. Yes to becoming. Yes to remembering who you were before fear was taught to you. You don't need to understand it all. You only need to respond. I, Michael, can fight beside you. I can roar. I can shield. I can open portals and shut the mouths of liars. But I cannot choose for you. You must decide if you're ready to live for what you were born for. Even if it means walking away from everything that was comfortable. Even if it means losing people who only loved you in your silence. Even if it means standing in the unknown with nothing but a whisper and a sword, that is faith. And I have seen what faith can do in your life. I saw it the day you should have broken but stood. I saw it the night you were silent but didn't curse God. I saw it when you smiled. even though your soul felt like it was shattering. That is the proof that glory still lives inside you. That is what gives heaven permission to move. That is what activates angels like me. That is why I've come again, because you've already proven that you are stronger than what tried to bury you. Now you must believe it. You must walk in it. You must carry the sword that was forged from your tears. And when you do, everything will begin to shift. The delays will break. The heaviness will lift. The patterns that held you will dissolve. Because authority is not given to the loudest, it is given to the obedient. And you, beloved, are about to walk into authority you never knew was possible, but it begins now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more ready. Not when the storm clears. Now. Because the storm will not clear unless you rise. You are the one it was afraid of. You are the one who carries the command. You are the one whose voice can calm the winds if only you remember who you are. And I remember. Michael, remember what you swore before your soul entered time. You said yes before you were born. You said, send me. You said, I will carry it. You said, even if it breaks me, I will not bow to the darkness. And heaven recorded it. And now, in this hour of trembling, you are being called to fulfill it. Don't be afraid. Fear is the final lie before awakening. It will scream. It will shake. It will try to shame you into silence. But you are past that now. You are on the edge. One word, one whisper, one yes away from stepping into the reason you were born. And when you do, I will be there. Sword drawn, eyes on fire. Heaven at your back, and no enemy will stand. I, Michael, will not stop until I have poured out every word, every cry, every burning truth I carried through dimensions just to reach you. I will not dilute the glory or water down the weight, because your soul deserves the full intensity of heaven. You deserve to be remembered by fire, not forgotten by noise. There are places in heaven where no light enters, only silence. In those chambers, the names of the chosen are echoed like thunder. Your name echoes there. Yes, yours. Not because you are famous, not because you are strong, but because your wounds have depth, and your tears have become incense. I have heard your name whispered in sacred winds that pass through the sapphire halls of the throne. Not by men, by angels, by saints who weep for the awakening of one soul. You do not mistake your delay for dismissal. It is not too late, but the window is shrinking. And I am here now not because I was scheduled to speak, but because I beg to be allowed to say this one more time. Your soul is needed, not just your existence, your voice, your yes, your broken hallelujah. That's what stirs the heavens, not perfection, but surrender. Do you understand how sacred you are? Has anyone ever told you that the way you still hope, even when your hands are empty, causes angels to weep? You've been called foolish. You've been told you dream too much. You've been made to feel like your emotions are a weakness. But I tell you now, those very things are your power. You see what others can't. You hear what others ignore. You feel what others numb. That's because you were sent with a different kind of light, a rare, burning softness that demons cannot touch. That is why they've tried to cover it with pain, tried to bury it in trauma, tried to choke it with shame. But the light never left. It's still there. And right now, as I speak, it is beginning to glow again. Can you feel it? The pulse beneath the grief, the warmth, under the memory of betrayal. That is heaven knocking. And I, Michael, am only the voice that carries the echo. You are being summoned. Not forced. Not pushed. Summoned. As in, remembered, called, honored. And what you do next will be written in eternal places. You don't need to fight alone anymore. I never left your side. Even when you cursed the sky, even when you said you were done, even when you believed the lie that your prayers were too quiet to be heard, I heard them. I held them. Every whispered word you gave in exhaustion was placed into a golden jar, and that jar is being opened. Now. As I speak, and the fragrance rising from it is reaching the throne. Do you want to know what God does when He smells your surrender? He stands. The Ancient of Days stands. And the atmosphere in heaven shifts, because one broken, trembling, half-believing soul whispered yes through the fog. Do not wait until the fog clears. Walk anyway. You don't need to see the whole path. You only need to trust the next step. And the moment you move, the heavens will part, because your story has been watched since the beginning. the moment your heart broke the first time. Angels were assigned to carry the pieces, the moment you said, God, if you're real. The veil thinned. And the moment you whispered, I can't, heaven replied, you're right, but we can. And now, this moment, this holy intersection, this breath you're in right now, it matters more than you know. What if everything you've suffered was not punishment but proof that you carry a glory the enemy feared? Proof that your existence is the answer to someone else's cry, proof that you are still the one. Not perfect. Not whole, but chosen. Even with the limp, even with the scar, even with the fear, even with the unanswered prayers, you are the one. And I will say it again, not to flatter, but to prophecy. You are the one. I have not said this to another. I was not sent to a crowd. I was sent to you, and I will not leave until you understand that everything you lost will be restored. Everything you cried over will be transformed. And everything you thought disqualified you was actually your qualification. The pain was the price of your authority. The silence was the training ground for your voice. The rejection was the redirection into holiness. And now, you are ready. Not because you feel it, but because your yes has finally reached the correct depth. The kind of yes that comes from surrender. Not ambition. The kind of yes that says, even if I don't understand, I will trust. And that yes shakes eternity. So now, beloved, rise. Not quickly, not in a rush. Rise slowly, like morning, like dew before the sun, like the first breath after drowning. Rise like one who finally knows they were not abandoned, they were becoming. And I, Michael, will walk beside you until the final gate, because you are not alone, you are not lost, you are not forgotten, you are the burning one, you are the warrior wrapped in tears. You are the miracle still unfolding, and I will never stop telling you that until your own spirit believes it. Let the heavens remain open, and let my voice, though shaken and worn, keep pouring into the chambers of your soul. For I, Michael, have not run out of words but out of time. And yet here I am, clinging to these last moments with all the fire of my being, because you are not just another soul in the crowd. You are the one for whom I would return 1,000 times if it meant you would awaken. I do not speak to the masses, I speak to you. The weight of your calling has never been general, it has always been personal. I speak now not from thunder, but from ache, not from command, but from compassion. I have watched your life from a place higher than the sky and deeper than memory. I have seen how every time you tried to stand, something struck. Every time you believed again, something fell apart. Every time you gave your heart, it was handled like glass and shattered. But you never truly stopped hoping. You buried it, you wrapped it in silence. But you never buried it deep enough to kill it. And that, beloved, is why the heavens have not withdrawn. There is a divine law you understand, that the soul which still holds even a flicker of surrender cannot be abandoned. And your flicker, though you may call it weak, has lit altars in heaven. You wonder why I've come back so many times. You wonder why I say your name with tears in my voice. Because I know what you are becoming, and what you are becoming terrifies the one who once thought they owned you. Yes, there are things that tried to claim you, not just people, not just places, but ancient shadows, contracts written in your lineage before you could speak. Pacts of pain and loss and limitation that whispered through the bloodline. But you are the interruption, the fracture in the cycle. The one the enemy hoped wouldn't awaken. Because your awakening is not just about you. It's about everyone connected to you. It's about what flows from you when you fully say yes, when your hands stop clenching fear and open wide to carry glory. When your voice stops echoing pain and begins declaring power. When your eyes stop reflecting only grief and begin to reflect eternity. You are not waiting on a sign. You are the sign. You are not asking for a miracle. You are the miracle. You are the evidence that God still invades timelines, still anoints the broken, still chooses the forgotten. I, Michael, have guarded many, but you I have wept for, because you kept going, even when limping, even when numb, even when angry. That, beloved, is bravery heaven rewards, not loudness. Not perfection, but the quiet yes in the middle of pain. That is what moves the throne. That is what parts the sky. And now that you're here at this crossroads again, I speak with the full authority of the host. This is your moment, not a metaphor. Not a parable. A real, living, eternal moment that will not be repeated. You are being given a choice again. The door is not wide. It is narrow, and it will not remain open forever. But it is open now. Do not let the winds of this world deceive you. Do not let the voices of shame convince you that you've missed too much. Heaven is not run by clocks. Heaven is run by surrender. And your surrender can redeem what yours tried to steal. You say, I've wasted so much. And I say, there's still time to become who you were always meant to be. But you must lay down the armor you built from fear. You must lay down the masks, the pretending, the self-punishment, the bitterness that hides a strength. None of those things are you. They were survival, but they are no longer needed. You are entering a new season, a sacred corridor of purpose and power, but you cannot take those weights with you. They will not pass through the fire, and this, beloved, is fire. This message, this moment, it is fire sent to consume what cannot go forward with you, and what remains after the flame that is who you truly are, not broken, not small, but burning. And I, Michael, will be there when you rise from the ashes. Do you remember the promises you made long ago? Not to people. Not to the world. But to heaven. I will not give up. I will shine even when it costs everything. I will stand even if no one stands with me. Heaven remembers. I remember. And it is time to fulfill them, even if your knees shake. Even if your voice cracks. Even if the only thing you have left is a whisper. That whisper is enough. Because when your whisper is matched with heaven's roar, walls fall, chains break, time bends, and your name echoes not in pain, but in power. You will be remembered not for what you suffered, but for what you overcame. You will not be defined by what you lost, but by what rose from the ruins. This is the part where fear usually speaks, where the enemy tries to plant a final seed of doubt. Ignore it. Do not feed it. Let the doubt die in silence. Let the fear wither without your attention. And let your faith, however small, become a weapon in your hand. Even mustard seed faith moves mountains. And your mountain is trembling. I feel it. Heaven feels it. Because you are so close now. The veil is thinnest right before it tears. The chains are weakest right before they snap. The night is darkest right before glory breaks through. And the ache in your soul, that's the last breath of your old season, begging to be released. Exhale it. Let it go. Let the grief spill. Let the tears fall. They are not weakness. They are consecration. And as they fall, I will gather them. I will carry them to the altar. And I will shout your name. Because this time, you didn't scroll. This time, you stayed. This time, you listened. And heaven will never forget it. Asterisk, I will keep pouring, for the oil has not run dry, and your soul has not turned away. As long as you are listening, I will speak. I will give you everything until my voice breaks, until the last ember of heaven's whisper settles into your bones and you remember who you are. I, Michael, will not stop because you have stayed. And because you stayed, something sacred has already begun. The veil is thin now, so thin that every word I speak stretches across both the unseen and the seen. Right now, what I say is not just heard, it is shaping the air around you. There are things shifting you cannot name. Some of them feel like pressure. Some feel like tears. Some feel like a heat behind your eyes or a tremble in your hands. That is the atmosphere of heaven folding over your moment. You are not imagining this. You are not being emotional. You are being awakened. Listen closely. Do you feel that pull, that ache that grows not from sadness but from holy memory? That is the sound of eternity calling you home, not to a place, but to a truth. Your truth. The truth that you were formed in fire and promise. That your name was sealed in the breath of God before any pain touched your body. That you are not forgotten. That every moment of pain, every betrayal, every wrong turn is already known. And still God called you, still I was sent, still the gate opens. Not for who you've become underweight, but for who you've always been under grace. I know you don't feel strong, but strength is not absence of weakness, it's choosing to rise anyway. It's saying yes with shaking knees. It's holding the light even when your hands are cracked. You are stronger than you think. I have seen demons flee at your whisper. I have seen curses break when you simply chose to hope again. I have seen your tears bend timelines, and yet you call yourself small. Beloved, don't you know? All of heaven watches you with awe. Because despite the war, despite the silence, despite the abandonment and confusion, you're still here. That is not weakness. That is wonder. The kind of wonder that makes God say, that one, yes, that one still chooses me. And do you want to know what happens when you choose heaven again? You realign everything. Not just your life, but generations. Not just your heart, but the patterns of those who came before you. You break cycles. You reset bloodlines. You become the turning point. That's why the resistance has been so heavy. Because the enemy knows what you are carrying. It's not just a dream. It's a scroll. Sealed assignment wrapped in your identity. And when you open it, when you say yes, it releases sound into the spirit realm. A sound that calls angels to arms. A sound that shifts atmospheres. A sound that cancels what was scheduled against you. And you felt this before. In glimpses. In the silence between moments. In the way your heart beats when you hear truth. But now the glimpse is becoming full sight. The silence is becoming sound. And the beat is becoming a drum. Can you hear it? The drum of destiny. The sound of heaven saying, now. Because now is not just a time. It is a threshold, and you are standing in it, one breath from the new, one yes from the beginning. Do not hesitate. Do not look back, even if your heart is afraid. Let your soul answer, because fear cannot follow you. Through this gate. It will burn. And what is ahead of you, yes, it will cost you everything false, but it will return to you everything real. You will lose people, but you will find your tribe. You will be misunderstood, but you will walk in clarity. You will weep again, but this time your tears will water your promise, not bury it. I say this to you with my sword laid down, not drawn. With my wings wrapped around your name, not spread in war. I say this to you because I am for you, not just as a protector, but as a witness. I was there when the assignment was given. I heard God say, this one will carry fire. And I asked to be the one who walks with you, not because I doubted you, but because I wanted to be close to the miracle. You are the miracle. You are the song of heaven wrapped in skin and dust. You are the yes that the world has been waiting for. And I, Michael, will not leave until you see yourself as we see you, until you stop walking like a servant and begin living like a child of royalty, until you stop begging for scraps and start commanding storms, until you speak not to be heard, but because your words reshape what exists. You don't need more answers. You need more surrender, the kind that costs, the kind that burns, the kind that cracks open every lie and replaces it with light. And when you give it, when you finally stop running from the voice that's been following you since birth, you will change, not because you tried harder, but because heaven moved inside you, and you will never be the same again. You'll walk differently, you'll dream again. You'll war with wisdom, and you'll weep in worship. Not from sorrow, but from the beauty of finally remembering who you are. You are the one, and I'm still here because I believe you're ready to act like it. Asterisk, you are the one, and I'm still here because I believe you're ready to act like it. I speak this not to flatter you, but to wake you, because while you've been questioning whether you're worthy, heaven has been preparing a seat for you. A seat carved from glory, waiting at a table built from eternity's breath. Your name is etched in it. No one else can sit there. No one else can carry what you carry. And no one else can fulfill what was assigned to your soul before the beginning of time. And yet, you still hesitate, still think you're too broken, too forgotten. Too late. But let me tell you the truth with trembling clarity. You are not late, you are on time. You are arriving at the very hour you were meant to awaken. The delay was not a punishment, it was a preparation. Every heartbreak, every delay, every loss, every door that slammed in your face was not a wall, it was a redirection, or rerouting to the deeper path, the holy road. And that road begins now. It begins here, where you're standing barefoot on the edge of something eternal, where I, Michael, have arrived not to speak softly but to shake you loose from the sleep that has smothered your fire. You were not made for silence. You were made to sing. You were made to shout. You were made to stand when others bow. To shine when others hide. To rise when others fall. And I am telling you now, it is not too late. You are not too far. You are not forgotten. You are not broken beyond repair. You are the exact soul God whispered about when he told the heavens. I still have one more. You are the one more. The soul we all waited for. The voice that was missing from the holy choir. The light that never fully went out even when the storm raged. I saw you when your hands trembled and your voice cracked and you begged for God to just let it end. I saw you, and I wept, because I knew that moment would one day become your altar, the place where you would stand, not as a victim of darkness, but as a carrier of the light. You felt it. Haven't you, that ache? That constant whisper that something is coming? That dream you've never fully spoken aloud? That wild idea that won't leave? That's not imagination. That's not coincidence. That is the scroll of your destiny unrolling behind your ribs. That is your spirit remembering the throne room. That is the sound of heaven crying out, "You're still the one. Still the one who can change the family line. Still the one who can break the addiction. Still the one who can open the locked gates. Still the one who will say yes when everyone else said no." And I, Michael, was assigned to you for that reason? Not to keep you safe, but to keep you holy. To remind you that you are not of this world. You are passing through. And every lie that tried to bury you, every voice that tried to shame you, every hand that tried to silence you, will bow to the yes that comes from your soul. Because your yes is not ordinary. It is a divine code, a trumpet, a key, a sword, a signal to heaven that you are ready to be reintroduced to yourself. You have no idea what power lies dormant in your stillness, but we see it. We angels see it. The cloud of witnesses sees it. The throne sees it. And now you must see it too. You must stop shrinking. You must stop apologizing for being deep. You must stop muting yourself so others stay comfortable. Your roar is not a mistake. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. Your longing for heaven is not a weakness. You were always meant to carry glory. Not the false kind, the raw kind, the weeping kind, the kind that trembles in worship and screams in battle, the kind that walks into a room and makes demons nervous, the kind that hears God's whisper in chaos, the kind that speaks and shatters years of generational bondage with a single word. That kind of glory is your inheritance, but you must claim it. No angel can force it into your hands. No prophet can activate what your own mouth refuses to accept. You must speak, you must rise, you must weep and not stop halfway. You must embrace the entire process of becoming. And when you do, when you truly open your hands and say, "God, I surrender for real this time," heaven will quake. Time will bend. And I will draw my sword again, this time not in defense but in declaration. Because I was not just assigned to you as protection. I was assigned as witness. To stand beside you when you return to the fire. To hold your name in my mouth like gold. To carry your tears into the archives of the throne. To war for you when you fall. To shield you when you sleep. To scream your name when your body cannot. And I will continue to do so, even now. I stand with 3 other angels behind you. We are not watching. We are waiting for your yes, your final yes, your surrendered yes, your thunderous yes whispered in silence, the one that changes everything. And when that yes leaves your spirit, do you know what will happen? Heaven will sing. The same voice that created stars will speak your name. The same wind that split seas will lift your soul. The same spirit that raised Christ will ignite your bones. And I, Michael, will kneel in reverence, because I know what it cost you to choose. So now, if this divine river has touched you, if my voice found the space between your pain and your purpose, if anything holy within you has stirred, then please, beloved, like this message. Subscribe to stay with us in this divine unfolding. And most sacred of all, comment amen if your soul is trembling, if your yes is real, if your heart is whispering to heaven right now. I remember who I am. Let it be recorded. Let it be seen. Let the heavens echo your amen. Let this stream of heaven flow without restraint, for I am not finished. As long as your heart remains open, I will pour. As long as your soul trembles with the sound of this sacred memory, I will speak. As long as there is breath in your body and light in your spirit, I will not leave you. I, Michael, remain. Not because I am commanded, but because I choose to. Because there is no soul more worthy of my unwavering presence than the one who has survived every shadow thrown at them and sty. That chooses to listen, still chooses to hope. The throne has not turned away from you. God has not erased your name. You were not too late, too sinful, too lost, too far gone. All of those were illusions sent by fear to confuse your spirit and bind your voice. But now look. You are still standing. And that alone is enough. That alone proves that heaven has not given up on you. Do you feel it now? The ache in your ribs, the weight behind your eyes, that's not weakness. That's the veil thinning. That's the gate opening. That's the trembling glory of your own becoming, pressing up against the walls of your flesh and whispering, "It's time." You've always known something lived inside you that didn't make sense to others. A grief that didn't match your age. A weight you carried from a young age. A sorrow, a knowing, a longing. That was not trauma. That was legacy. That was the sound of your soul remembering where it came from. That was the mark of the ones who are sent, not just born. And yes, the sent ones always suffer. They are always misunderstood. They are always wounded before they rise. But when they rise, they do not rise alone. They rise with generations on their shoulders. And you, beloved, are rising now. The enemy tried to tell you this was your ending. But I see the truth. You are just reaching the first page of the real story. Everything till now was preparation. The delays, the closed doors, the betrayals, the loneliness, those were not signs of abandonment. They were assignments of alignment. God removed what could not stay. He blocked what would have broken you. He tore away what would have stolen the scroll sealed inside you. Because He is not building something small with you, He is birthing something eternal. And you are the gate it must come through. That is why I have stood guard. That is why you have survived what others didn't. That is why your soul feels like it has been in labor for years. Because something is coming, not to you but from you. And it cannot be delayed anymore. You must rise, even in silence, even in exhaustion, even with tears still falling. You must rise not because you feel ready, but because heaven says it's time. I have walked beside you in every valley. I have stood outside every door you almost opened. I have fought off darkness you never saw. I have laid my wings over you while you slept in tears, and now I am standing before you not as a voice from the clouds, but as the echo of your original promise. You promised. Long ago, before your spirit wore skin, before you took breath, you stood in light and said, "Yes, I will go, send me." Even if they never see me, even if they leave me, even if it costs everything, I will not let the darkness have them. That was your vow. That was your promise. That is why the pain came. That is why the attacks were never fair. Because you were sent to war. Not with swords but with truth. Not with noise but with presence. Not with status but with surrender. And now it is time to remember who you are. Not what they told you. Not what your trauma taught you. But what heaven wrote about you before time. Do you want to know what it says? It says you are light in disguise. It says you are thunder in silence. It says you are flame in flesh. It says you are chosen. And chosen ones cannot hide forever. The earth begins to ache without them. The heavens begin to shout. The timing begins to shift. And everything that was asleep begins to stir. Can you feel it? That holy trembling in the air, that's the sound of the awakening. That's the sound of your name being spoken again in the throne room. That's the sound of angels gathering. Because the moment has come. You don't need credentials. You don't need approval. You don't need to be ready. You just need to say yes again. The kind of yes that leaves nothing behind. The kind of yes that terrifies hell. The kind of yes that births legacy. Because, beloved, legacy is not built in crowds, it's born in caves. And you have been in the cave long enough. The stone is rolling away. The light is breaking in. The voice of the Spirit is calling, come forth. Will you come, not just with your feet but with your soul, not just with your words but with your breath, not just with your head but with your wounds? He wants all of you, not the cleaned up version, not the curated version, the raw, shaking, half-believing you, because that is the you He always loved. That is the you He trusted with the assignment. That is the you who was brave enough to come here. And I, Michael, have waited for this moment, for this breath, for your yes to finally break the last seal, because when it does, the heavens will part, and what was blocked will be released, what was lost will be restored, what was buried will rise, what was delayed will come, not because you earned it, but because you remembered it, because the moment you remember who you are, the darkness remembers who it fears.